Australia only needed to avoid defeat to stay in the World Cup, but the Socceroos did more than that on Saturday in a 1-0 win over Tunisia. Mitchell Duke gave Australia the lead midway through the first half with a header, and Australia went on to register its first win at football's biggest event since a victory over Serbia back in 2010. The result means Australia still has a chance to qualify for the round of 16, despite losing 4-1 to defending champions France in their opening match. In the final round of group games on Wednesday, Tunisia will play France and Australia meets Denmark. The right-hand man of former Ivorian President Laurent Gbagbo returned home on Saturday after more than 8 years abroad. Charles Blé Goudé was met at the airport by former First Lady Simone Gbagbo, accompanied by around a dozen people. His arrival, on a flight from Ghana's capital, Accra, was preceded by a heavy police presence. Charles Blé Goudé was acquitted in March last year of crimes against humanity by the International Criminal Court based in The Hague. Blé Goudé was arrested in Ghana in 2013 following the post-electoral crisis that engulfed the West African country in 2010. Former President Laurent Gbagbo refused to concede defeat to current President Alassane Ouattara. The post-electoral violence resulted in at least 3,000 deaths. The electoral authorities in the DRC have announced on Saturday that the next presidential election will take place on December 20th next year. Current President Felix Tshisekedi, who succeeded Joseph Kabila in January 2019 in a controversial election, has already expressed his intention to run again. Tshisekedi may be running against Martin Fayulu, who continues to claim that he won the 2018 election and was denied victory. Former Prime Minister Augustin Matata Ponyo has also announced his intention to run. According to the electoral authorities, insecurity remains the main challenge. Violence is still present, particularly in the east, where armed groups, including the M23 rebels, have recently seized large parts of land north of Goma, the provincial capital of North Kivu. A mini-summit held this week in the Angolan capital, Luanda, decided on a ceasefire from Friday evening, followed within 2 days by withdrawal of the M23 rebels from occupied areas. Calm has returned to Tomé Príncipe after Thursday's attempted coup. At least 4 people lost their lives and many were arrested. Speaking on Friday, Prime Minister Patrice Trovoada sought to reassure the population. I want to reassure the population that the situation is under control, and I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the armed forces who managed to put an end to this operation carried out by civilians who were mercenaries. As I speak, everything indicates that they were under the command of certain personalities. Amongst those arrested is Delphine Neves, the former president of the outgoing National Assembly, as well as a former mercenary who had already attempted a coup in 2009. We have to make sure that those elements who were outside the barracks, who exchanged fire, and those who were not neutralized, were not captured, that the armed forces can actually do their job. Because these are individuals who went to confront the armed forces with weapons of war. And it is up to the armed forces, I would say, to stabilize this situation, which they are doing at the moment.
eu diria, estabilizar esta situação. É o que estão a fazer nesse momento.
The center-right party of Prime Minister Patrice Trovoada won an absolute majority in September's general elections. In Somalia, the government is engaged in an all-out war against the al-Shebab extremists. The new strategy, in place since July, has already led to some gains in two regions in central Somalia. Since 2007, that the al-Qaeda-affiliated group has been fighting the government and trying to establish Islamic law in the country. The new strategy, unveiled in July by new President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, seeks to combine military operations with ideological and economic measures. On the military front, since September that the government has engaged the army and is also supporting clan militias in the fight against extremists. On the ground, however, al-Shebab fighters have been carrying out a campaign of attacks against civilian targets in towns. At the end of October, Somalia saw its deadliest attack since 2017.